Don't you think this is starting to wear on me? You've been raining down like hail. I'm weak. I have tried to give you my soul, but you can't love something you own. It's too late to repair what we made. What can I do? Time flashed by and I woke up on the other side of the...
G'day everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Anna and this is You Got Me in Stitches. Hope everybody is having a good week whatever you have been up to, whether it is sewing or other. Today I am coming in with you with a make, singular, one make. I have been making a few other garments and pieces, and today this is just kind of a little standalone video for this one particular piece, even though it's kind of a part one of two. Anyway, okay, some of it's a little bit of a maybe cryptic clue idea in the title, who knows. I know one or two of you guys have been guessing what I have been up to with some denim fabric. Shall we see if any of you guys are correct? Righto, the pattern that I am talking about is the Lyra dress, which is what I have here. Most people are familiar with the Lyra dress from Tilly and the Buttons, and I'm seeing it kind of like that. Initially I was a little bit put off. It kind of did not really do too much for me. It's like, I don't know. It's funny because I kind of like vintage look, and it does have a little nod to the vintage, but this kind of reminds me of a little bit daggy kind of look. Anyway, when I saw Liz from The Baker That Sews, I absolutely fell in love with it, and that is what kind of convinced me to go and get this pattern. I'd already had a couple ideas of different makes for fabric. However, the fabric that will be in part two for the same make is something I've been planning for a whole bunch of time, and it was just kind of perfect how it came together. You'll have to wait for that in part two, because today part one is my first journey with this pattern. And I'll just quickly show you guys the line out there in case you're not so familiar. And the sizing, I usually kind of fall in between maybe a 3-4, and yeah, I wanted to play around and do something a little bit different. However, I did not realise how different that this journey was going to take me on. On this pattern I decided that I wanted to invest even a little time in creating a mock-up, and I just did the mock-up for the top half of the Lyra dress pattern. And because I am tall, about 5'10", 5'11", I know you're probably thinking, how could you be 5'10" or 5'11" and fluctuate? Yeah, we do. I tend to slouch, so I kind of like 5'10", and when I kind of can stand correctly, or about properly 5'11". Also, did you know that you're taller in the morning than you are in the evening? Yes, we kind of shrink during the day. Anyway, yeah, so I have some mock-up fabric, which is for the most part always thrifted, so it's very inexpensive, and it is a cotton kind of mid-weight fabric. So this is the top half of the mock-up here, and yeah, I kind of pretty much for the most part kind of kept the pattern as is, and I always have to add length, and initially I added 2 inches, which is usually about how much. Sometimes it's 1.5, sometimes it can kind of get away with 1, but I kind of thought on this, let's go for 2 inches. So that's kind of just in the torso area. And also I kind of thought I may have to play around with bust darts a little bit, which yes I did. I actually had to lower them, and you guys will see that if I just insert a little still and just some footage. I'm also team trace, so you'll see that I have traced out the pattern because they are so expensive, and yeah, on some Swedish tracing paper. during the fitting, I was kind of happy with the regular kind of adjustments that I had to make. I also then just kind of wanted to add a little extra inch length for the sudden idea that I had, and this bore out quite simply because when I was wearing the top of this mock-up, it kind of then told me, actually, you know what, this kind of looks like something else, as opposed to kind of it's a little bit of a shirt style. If I hold the pattern up a little bit closer, you can see it's a shirt style there, and I thought I could roll with that a little bit, and I decided actually to go through some of the fabrics that I have been sorting out. So TE and I had been kind of going through and sorting out culling stuff that was in the garage, and yeah, it's kind of accumulated over a little bit of time, you know how it is, guys. And from maybe some of you guys that follow Hayley from Hellsmore Sewing, she also had been going through a huge kind of clear out, bit of a cull of everything, and it was actually on my agenda to do that anyway, and it kind of, I don't know, we were kind of doing the same thing at the same time, but unbeknown to each other that we were doing that. Anyway, yeah, so I was sorting out a whole bunch of things, and I kept originally quite a few actually, clothes from when TE was a lot younger. Anyway, sorted all through those, some to donate, some to use as kind of other ideas, which I'm coming on to, and yeah, some to also sell, and that's with everything else as well in the garage. So anyway, I was then going through the bits that could be repurposed, not just for clothes, could be for anything else, could be pet beds, could be little baggies, grocery bags, anything like that. And so I got quite a bit of denim, and I put all the denim to, you know, one side, all different colours, obviously different lengths of the jeans pants that TE, because he was growing, so there were different stages as he was growing, so the pants different lengths, and yeah, also slightly different cut, kind of straight leg, maybe a little wider leg. Kind of, if you conjoin them together, you can kind of have quite a bunch of fabric. So yeah, I was kind of having, you know, that light bulb moment thing going on in my straw head, and yeah, then I thought, okay, this kind of, like I said, kind of reminds me of a shirt, and I thought, actually, you know what, I'm going to leapfrog a little bit from the shirt idea into something else. So let's talk through and see what it is that I decided to do. As you guys just saw from the still, the top half of the mock-up that I was wearing, because the fabric that I decided to use the mock-up was slightly structured, although it was kind of a light midweight fabric, that's what kind of leapfrogged me into thinking of a slightly different idea. I think if I had used more drapier fabric, kind of something that was not too dissimilar to the fabric for the actual Lyra dress, then maybe this may not have bore out of kind of the mock-up, who knows. Anyway, so this is it. So you're probably thinking it's still a shirt. Yeah, you could not, you know, be mistaken there at all. However, if we keep going down, there we go, I have actually turned it into a denim jacket. I will insert photographs of this. So yeah, I kind of meshed different parts of TE's denim jeans together, and seam ripped the side seams, cut off kind of the waistband, took out the pockets, everything I could possibly use to go into this jacket. And yeah, so what I will do, I'll flip the camera around and talk through and show you guys a little bit more in detail of the process. Righto, so starting off at the top here and kind of working across and the way down. All what you see is the Lyra dress pattern pieces with the exception of pockets. So yeah, starting off with the collar there. It's just a kind of standard shirt, and I just created a jacket because of the type of fabric that I used, and added in, yeah, 2 breast pockets, and on both the arms I decided also to add a pocket on each. So just panning over so you can see there, and the seams that you can see, I'll show you kind of on the blue because it's a little bit easier to see it, because obviously on the other side the black you see a little bit but it's not as clear as it is here on the blue. So yeah, that would be the side seam of the pants. So I kind of wanted to incorporate that in the look of the jacket. And coming down here, this is actually the waistband, and I have that on both sides in different colours. And yeah, I wanted to make sure the button placket also had buttons on the breast pockets and the sleeve pockets, and my buttonholes are okay. There's all the buttons there. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward pattern. I will talk about the pattern, kind of do a little bit of a review when part 2 comes. And yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So I'll just flip it round to the back. There you can see the what would have been side seams of the pants. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of keep all those details, and the middle seam there, that is what I stitched together, because obviously these are 2 separate pant legs that have now been joined together. And you can see, there we go, just bought the waist tab, not entirely sure if that's the correct terminology. Yeah, brought it round kind of part way of the back. And yeah, the sleeves are semi full length. They do not come down to my wrists. They come up a little bit shorter than that, and that is how I wanted that. So yeah, and the little detail there you can see with the kind of little marks there in the jeans. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to have that left as well, incorporate it, so it kind of has that slight edgy look to it, I guess. Right, I just flipped it inside out so you guys can see kind of the skeletal internal structure there. So this is the front, and you can clearly see the seams of the original jeans there. And also the good thing is I did not need to hem it, because the hem all the way around is the original hem of the jeans. So yeah, I kind of wanted to incorporate that as well, and also just saves on another step. Just flipped it round to the back, and yeah, for that middle seam that I stitched, I made sure it was all hidden, because I think that might be a little bit uncomfortable if that was left and just serged. Now the only thing I did serge was around both the arm side areas and the length of the inner seam on the sleeve there. So guys, there you have it. There is my, what I'm now going to call Lyra jacket. Hope you enjoyed seeing the process there, and just give a quick talk through of what I did. But it's always a great way if you have old garments, instead of tossing them and donating, you can kind of reuse them and recycle them and repurpose into something completely different. So let me know in the comments below, if you'd like, what is the most kind of dramatic change of something that you may have recycled and turned into something different. Did you play around with different fabric types? Did you change garments like I did and kind of strip them down and then create a completely different garment? Or did you use soft furnishings? Did you deconstruct some of those and turn them into garments or other maybe household items? Part 2 of this video will be actually about the dress itself, the Lyra dress. So yes, I have completed the garment, and yeah, I'll talk through that and more of my thoughts with kind of a little bit of a pattern review and kind of in a mix both that. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure when that will come out. It may be before Friday, or it may be on Friday or Sunday. But yeah, if you'd like to look out for the actual Lyra dress video, please, yeah, I think the best way maybe is to hit that notification bell, because I think for the most part, I know YouTube has been kind of updating, because I know some of the layout looks a little bit different now, or at least it does from my point of view. And yeah, that will also notify you of videos coming out. Righto guys, we'll leave you now with a little bit of video and stills of me wearing the jacket and kind of just being stupid really, and kind of messing around with a few ideas of how to kind of team that jacket up with a few little garments. Okay guys, if you'd like this, please give me a thumbs up, and yeah, all being well, see you very soon with part 2. Happy sewing everybody, and thank you. okay, yeah, I can kind of roll with that a little bit, sorry. As you can see just from the still of me wearing the green muck-up top part of the fabric,